Hi everyone, this week we're going to be drawing a nose and similar to last week's video I've got two techniques to help you with the basic outline and then I will go over applying tones. So the first method is using circles and here I've got three examples because as we know all noses are different shapes and sizes. With these three circles, this middle circle is the centre section of the nose, and then you want to have two sort of sideways ovals at the bottom, and those are going to help you place the nostrils. So where these three circles overlap is going to be where the nostrils go, and then you're going to use the sides of these ovals for the side of the nose, and then you're just going to connect the bottom bit just to make you see those nostrils more clearly. I'll just darken them a little bit, and then this main section here is just the width of the nose as well. So let me just show you with these different shapes. This one's more like a button nose, and then however small or close together these lines are is however wide or thin the bridge of the nose is. Okay, so you've got that method there, and then obviously these circles are guides, so you would just need to rub those out before you moved forwards with your drawing. And there you've got the outline of three noses that you could possibly add tone to. The second method is the seagull method, which a lot of people prefer, but I prefer the circles method, but I'll show you this one anyway. So this is two very flat semicircles, and then this sort of line here at the bottom of the nose, and then you're going to add in two bracket shapes to the seagull shape to get your nose. Now this can look quite geometric and unnatural if you don't get it right, so I suggest practicing with this method. What you don't want to end up with is these pig-like circular noses where you've got like these upturned ugly circles. You'd only ever see that sort of angle if you were looking upwards at a person, but if you're doing straight on, you're going to have the nostrils are much more shallower and they're less obvious. So that's the seagull method. And then once you have drawn out your shape that you like, that you've sketched, sorry, you're then going to apply some tone. Now the first thing you need to do is to rub out the bridge of the nose. I've left it so I can sort of still see it, and that is because the bridge of the nose here is not an outline. As we said before, there's no lines on our faces. Our faces are made up of just tone. So when you're applying the tone, obviously where these lines are is the darkest, and that just means that you need to add darker tone there and not a dark line. If you have a dark line and then you start adding the tone, you're still going to be able to see the line and it's going to look really harsh. So you want to make sure that you keep that dark tone in there without a line. And again here you can see that I'm following the contour of the shape, so the bridge of the nose goes up and then over and meets in the middle. So my lines initially here are going to be quite diagonal, and then they're going to be darker because this section is furthest away. And then the same on the other side, but if the light's coming from this side, it's not going to be as dark as the other side. And again, I'm doing diagonal lines on there. And then this top section is going to be the lightest section because that's the bit that's closest to us. So I'm going to add in some mid-tones here as we curve around, but leaving room for those lighter tones in the middle. Do the same on this side, going lighter as we go more towards the centre, and again following the contour of the shape. Like that. Just going to make that a little bit darker because that's the bit that's furthest away. And then what you might want to do as well is just add in the tone for the face. As the nose goes outwards, just to put it into some sort of setting instead of a floating nose. You might want to draw all the way around it. I won't for now just because of time. And then here we're going to go on to the nostrils, and why I like the circles method is because it tells you the contour of the shape again. So if I know that there's circle there, and circle there, I know that the contours of the shape needs to be curved here. There's a little bit of a shadow at the bottom here because that is the bottom of the nose. Bit of that circle. And then you're going to add in the shadow of the nostril. So again, we're not doing circles, it's a shadow. So you might want to add in like that darker line and then add in the shadow there. And then also there is a shadow underneath the nose, where the nose casts a shadow onto the top lip, just above the top lip. I'm going to add that in. And then again, you might want to add in the sections around the nose, so like the Cupid's bow bit here. Maybe you're going to add like the suggestion of the top of the lip maybe, or just start to blend these skin tones outwards. So you've still got this shadow and you've got the skin tones underneath, again following the contours of the shape. Looks like a moustache now because I haven't actually done all of the background skin. Let's quickly add that side in so you get what I mean. And again, if you've got a blending stump, then you could blend the skin tone together. Where I put mine? Where's here? So you might want to do this now. And again, not going backwards and forth, because then you get these sections of darker tone that you can't really control as much. And as I said before, when you're using this tool, and it is a blending stump, it's not a tool to add tone with, you need to blend the graphite that's already on your page. It will move the graphite and push it into the page, and so you might need to reapply those darker tones, because they might have been used to push into the tooth of the paper, or might have been moved somewhere else, so you might just need to reapply those tones. And then here I've got this darker shadow here now that I'm going to lift off in a second, because actually this side is the darkest side, so I'll need to adjust that in just a second. And again, that circle is good because you can suggest that tone there. Okay. And you can use it just to push the graphite that's on your blending stump onto the paper a little bit more, so I can do that there. So now I'm going to use my rubber, and if you've got putty rubber that is a little bit better, but if you've got a normal rubber you can just press it onto the page just to lift off some of those dark tones that you might want to get rid of. So I'm just going to do that on this side. Okay, and then blend back what is there, and it's not going to be as dark because I've got rid of the graphite that was on the page. What's happened there? Okay. Okay, and then as I said before, I'm going to just darken the darkest tones, and I'm just using a HB for this, but you could use a softer pencil to get a higher contrast. So I'm going to make that a lot darker just by pressing a little bit heavier, and then again around here, and I might want to even darken this bit up here as well. So it's all about layering. It's gone too far with that. And building up the tone slowly. And then blending. As you saw before, I could blend with my pencil pressure, and you can blend it even smoother with a blending stump if you have one, or a cotton bud. Okay, that is that. So, key points to remember. The bridge of the nose is the section that's closest to us, and so that will have a highlight. The sides of the nose are darker, and that there is a shadow underneath the nose. The nostrils are not circles, they're more like squashed semicircles. And get rid of the outline before you start to add tone. So rub it out, just use the remaining graphite that's on the page as a guide. Make sure it's really, really faint and that you are only using tone to build up your nose shape. Okay, again, good luck and have fun.